Today we're going to talk about 3 critical tips that will help you deal with your anxiety immediately. I'm Dr. J with 2 Dots Mind, and we're going to give you great information on how to deal with anxiety. So if you stay to the end of the video, we'll give you a bonus tip that really will help you reduce the chances or the occurrence of anxiety happening to you. And it's critical that you sit through the last and 4th secret bonus tip that we'll give you here. But before we get started, many of you are asking, what is anxiety? Do I really have it? Or, when I do have it, how do I identify what that is? So first, we definitely want to give you the definition of anxiety. This comes from the dictionary. It's a feeling of worry or nervousness or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. And so what does that mean? That could be something as simple as I'm going to prepare for an interview and I don't know who's going to be on the panel. I don't know what they're going to ask me. I don't know if I'm as prepared, right? And so I have some type of anxiety before the interview or the night before the interview. I got, sweaty palms, can't sleep, shortness of breath, all those type of deals. That's when you know you're having some type of anxiety or potentially an anxiety attack. You could be preparing for a business pitch and you don't know exactly if it's right. And this is going to be something that can really help your business grow and prosper by providing resources. Well, again, right? You have an anxiety because, it's some uncertain event that could dictate your future. Or you're going to the doctor, and I had this, and I was having blood work done, and it's just your normal checkup. But, I have sometimes anxiety about what the doctor is going to tell me. So I can't sleep until I actually review those results, right? And so what we're going to give you is 3 critical steps that will help you out. So we're going to jump right into it, right? We're going to jump right into step number 1. And we call this, you want to practice the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding exercises, right? And I went slowly because I want you to really understand what it is. These are 5 things that you need to do as we call it countdown. So 5 things. So you want to see 5 things that you see. If I'm sitting in my room, I want to focus on my dress, maybe a television or a book. I'm going to focus on the closet. I'm going to focus on the door. But 5 things that I spent 5 seconds focusing. I just focus on it, right? And then I want to 5 things that touch. So sometimes I get up and I touch a few things, whether that's, touching socks, touching my elbow, touching the television. So I touch 5 things that are critical. Then I try to hear 5 things. So I live in an urban environment, but I live on a large plot of land and there's a lot of greenery around my home. So I'm listening, I'm closing my eyes and I'm listening to the birds or the cricket, or I'm listening to the air conditioning. But I'm sitting there for 5 seconds each time listening. Then I smell. What do I smell? I smell the sheets. I smell my clothes. I smell dirty clothes, right? But I try to find and let that sense of smell hit me. So there's 2 things that I try to smell. And then 1 thing I taste. So I always keep something next to the bed in my drawer. I have gum, I have some water, right? I have always something next to it. And so it's something that I can taste, right? And so I have those things. So I go through that exercise and I spend 5 seconds on each thing. So the 5th thing, I'm spending 25 seconds on that because I'm looking at 5 different things. 20 seconds on the 4th, 15 on the 3rd, 10 seconds on the 2nd, and 5 seconds on the 1st, with the idea that I'm spending, that minute or so time to really just get my thoughts together, right? And really just recondition my brain to focus on something different than the event at hand. And so that's critical for me. And I do this every time I feel anxiety. And I sometimes feel it. I had a large press conference that I had to do about a very significant event that happened for the organization I worked for. I didn't know what the reporter was going to ask me. I didn't know the outcome of all the things that were going to go on. And so I spent a minute doing this. And in a sense, I was doing it, right, 5 minutes before I got on camera. And it really helped calm me. So I was able to not only articulate myself well and during depressing, but also really relaxed when I was, getting questions from reporters and different things of that nature. And I had to do a lot of that during my job as the executive of a very large organization. So it is something that really helped me. So we have a second tip, right? And this is a really critical tip that you can use as well. And that second tip, slow down and control your breathing. So you want to engage in slow, controlled breathing. Inhale, exhale. And you want to repeat that about 10 times. So what does that mean? I want to and as you can see, when I inhale, I pause for 3 seconds. And then as I exhale, I pause for another 3 seconds. I repeat that 10 times. And I may do step 1 and step 2 right after each other, just so I can relax. That breathing in and breathing out sometimes releases that tension. I mean, sometimes you may need to only do it less than 10 times. Sometimes you may need to do it a little longer. But that controlled breathing is very critical in relaxing the muscle structure, relaxing that tension, releasing what we call that anxiety, and that's critical. And you see many people that does, public speaking or some type of activity, they do that right before they do it, no matter how good they are, right? No matter how seasoned they are, they practice that, whether in their personal life or their private life. And again, I do that all the time when I prepare for a meeting and I know it's going to be, very contentious, breathing, right? And even when I respond to a question, I may do and then respond. Take that time to pause so that I can get the response that I want. So step 2 is really critical in relaxing and breathing and doing controlled breathing that can help you. Now we're going to go to a third step. And that third step, I think, is really critical. And this is something that you can do every morning, right? Before you get into a tense. You may not be able to do this on a work office unless you're at the table and you're practicing. But our second is progressive muscle relaxation. And what that means, you want to get into a quiet space, just kind of close your eyes. And sometimes I start with my toes and kind of go all the way up to, my facial structure. And what I'll do is I'll tense it up, right, for 3 to 5 seconds, and then I'll release it. And I'll do my leg, do my fingers release, do my shoulders and chest release, my biceps release. And the reason why I'm doing that, trying to get muscle relaxation so that really, when that muscle relaxation happens, I can relax my body, right, and relax my mind. And for me, that's critical, and I think for you. So when you're doing, your grounding exercise, your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right, you're dealing with your senses, right? When I'm doing my controlled breathing, I'm really trying to relax, my muscle structure and release. When I look at step 3, tip 3, I'm really trying to relax my muscle tension. And so working on all those senses, your breathing, your muscles, really help you relax. And sometimes if you have time, just do them all together. And as you do that, just sit in a quiet space. Gather your thoughts if you have it. If you have to go outside, you have to go into a closet, have to go on the floor in the home, wherever you can get some quiet space, do it. And so I do that, and I practice that sometimes just every single day, just to get my mind ready for the day. It's not even anxiety. I will practice step 3 just to get ready for a day. And then step 4, which is my bonus tip of the day. And if you like this bonus tip, please put a comment in the description, right? Comment on it and let us know if this was very helpful. But as you can see, Oprah, Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins. I listen to motivational speaking and it words every single day. It is the first thing that I do when I wake up. I spend 10 minutes when I wake up, and I spend 10 minutes before I go to bed listening to something that is positive. Many times we go throughout the whole day and we go throughout our lives not hearing enough positive, because we may have people around us that are not supporting us. We may have business partners that are not positive. We may have employees that we work with and staff, our bosses, that are not positive. So being able to listen to positive thinking, positive thoughts, and really being able to let that guide us really helps out. So that's the bonus tip of the day. Spend at least 20 minutes in the morning and in your afternoons, evenings, during quiet time, and listening to something positive. You can find all those positive content on YouTube. So there's no excuse for you to do it. Just find it and listen to it. It really will help you. So those are my 3 tips plus the bonus that we have to help you through any anxiety that you have. We all face it. It's how we deal with it. And I want you to deal with it head on. I know you can do it. We all have suffered through it. Let's jump over our hurdle. Let's attack it, and let's continue to put positive thoughts. You have to understand that even as sometimes you have setbacks and you hear some negatives, always know that something positive will come. And with that, I hope you like this video. I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, hit that notification button, and hope you enjoy our future content. Thank you. I'm Dr. J with 2 Doc Minds.